Another perspective to look at gray rocking is that you are the supply, meaning that you have what they need, which also means that you are the dealer. Your supply is a drug to them. So by giving them your emotional outbursts and reactions, you are enabling their addiction to your reactions, to your emotions. So what is the gray rock method? The gray rock method is to remain completely unbothered, completely cold, indifferent, boring. If you look at the color of a gray rock, it's gray, it's ashy, it's sullen, it's not vibrant, it's not giving you much. What is ashy? Dead people. So you want to be an inanimate object, more like a statue. It is to make sure that you are unengaged from the conversation so that they cannot draw out and extract from you the emotion that they so depravedly crave. How are you going to exhibit? You're going to make sure that your micro expressions, the tiny frowns, the squinting of the eye, the twitching, the whatever it is that you do to react to a situation is going to be minimized completely so that the person that is trying to agitate you, i.e. the narcissist, is not going to get a rise out of you as they normally do. You are now going to take a lot of skill and training and practice to discipline yourself, because I know this is hard. They have the remote control to all of your push buttons to trigger you, and they know what hurts, and they're going to dive right in there and twist the knife or start the key. So they're going to try their best to get a rise out of you, to agitate you. You see, narcissists are warmongers. They are dysfunctional, mentally ill people that thrive in chaos, in arguments, in fighting, in confrontation. They absolutely love to get this rise out of you. And what you need to understand is that they will push all your buttons to make sure that you give them the source of supply that they require to feel alive, because that's how they self-identify, that is how they feel like they exist, that is how their life has meaning and purpose. When they get a rise out of you, when they see an emotional outburst from you, and then of course they can turn the tables on you and say that you're the crazy one. Gaslighting 101. So whether you make a lot of excessive hand gestures or gesticulations when you're really upset, or whether you scream or cry or throw things, or whether you pull your face or sulk or raise your eyebrows if you're surprised at what he's saying, all of those things are expressions that give him a response. It is supply for him. It is what he's looking for when he tries to upset you, by saying harmful things, by saying derogatory things, by picking on your mother, by picking on your father, by picking on your sister, by picking on your whole entire family and everyone that you love, by picking on you, all of your phobias, all of your faults, all of your inadequacies, all of your vulnerabilities, which will be used against you. They are data collectors. When they first get to know you, they are recording everything in their hard drive as to know what buttons in future to push to get you upset. If they know that you told them that your sister, for example, has a terminal illness and doesn't know, they will threaten to tell her. If they know any secrets confidential to you or your family or those you love, or even your business, people you work with, your colleagues, your bosses, etc., your clients, all of these people will be targeted so that you can be exposed. And they will push these buttons because they know your sensitivities and they will try to upset you. Now, the gray rock method is basically giving them no emotion back. It's pulling back on all of your supply and keeping it into yourself, keeping it inside. This takes a lot of skill. It is not easy because they will try every trick in the book, as I've mentioned, to upset you. All you will need to do is maintain a very calm, zen-like, composed, demure mannerisms and behavior and stature. You're going to be very cold, aloof, unaffected. It's not that you're going to be ignoring them or giving them the silent treatment, because those things are manipulative and they will play you back. However, it is responding with a very, very, very minimal response. And that is an art of itself. It is minimizing your words, using fewer, more meaningful, choicest words, Grey rocking is not just about your physical demeanor and appearance and how you carry your expressions on your face and your body language, but it's also about the tone in your voice, the tempo of your voice, and the way that you speak. Slowly, coolly, and calmly. This is very important because some people will be agitated, they'll be grey rocking, they'll be like, what do you want? Don't get off of my face. You know, it's just, they will be really upset. But you won't see it on their outside appearance, but they will definitely give it away in the way that they speak. So grey rocking is as much to do, or has as much to do with your voice and the way you communicate as it does with your actual body language, appearance, and facial expressions, or lack thereof, which is what we're aiming for. So switching into the grey rock mode is switching to observation mode. You are now watching, learning, being hard and cold like a rock. So it's kind of like bouncing off of you. Now, it also helps you when you do this to zoom out, to have a better outside perspective of what's actually occurring. This will benefit you so that you can hopefully assess the situation from a non-emotional perspective. That will help you be non-reactive. Another perspective to look at grey rocking is that you are the supply, meaning that you have what they need, which also means that you are the dealer. Your supply is a drug to them. So by giving them your emotional outbursts and reactions, you are enabling their addiction to your reactions, to your emotions. By withholding their supply, you are stopping the drug that you administer. You are no longer giving it to them. It's like a tap that was gushing forth with water that flowed every time you open the faucet. Now when they try to open the faucet, you are giving them a slow stream going to a drip, drip, drip. Of course, this is how you will have to manage it because it will take time before you get to a slow drip and get even slower. Now, once they can feel that this supply is running out, that you are no longer dealing in this game of emotional reactivity and that they cannot get a rise out of you, that is the drug for them, that keeps them addicted to you, they will then feel that you are no longer worthy of supply. Yes, they may also go and look for other supply on the side, but they will probably be doing this on the side anyway, because one supply is never enough for a narc. So please do not think that if you go grey rock, that they will leave you and look for other women or other supply, or if you're a man, for other men. They will do that anyway. It is the nature of the narcissist to need to feed off of the souls and spirits of many people at once, and whether or not you fulfill them, it will never be enough, because their souls are a vapid black hole that swallow any and everything they receive from you, and it will just disappear anyway. The same as they do from their other side supplies and alternate supply sources. It's never enough. It never will be enough. And there's a conveyor belt of supply as much as there are a conveyor belt of humans that will play their game. So please go grey rock for your own sanity and your own dignity and your own self-respect, and upholding your own boundaries, because God knows you've lost a lot of confidence and self-esteem along the way. This is a way to suck it back, reel it back into you, and remember who you are, the powerful sovereign being that you are, so that you can maintain your stance, uphold your boundaries and standards, and tell this mofo where to get off. It is avoiding being dragged down into their drama and chaos, because that's all they love generating. And it is, of course, going to be you responding calmly and firmly yet gently, not in an abrasive way, as I mentioned before, in the way that you grey rock with your voice. You see, the narcissist regulates themselves by dysregulating us and derailing us off our emotional pathway, our neurological pathway, and normalcy. They find normality by causing us chaos. So what you want to do, in effect, is reduce that so that they pass by us. They don't see us as anything interesting. A predator, if he sees a piece of floating wood or log on the ocean surface, is going to swim past it. Whereas a killer whale, if it thinks it's a seal, is going to attack it. You want to be this emotionless piece of, object, not something that they can really get much from. The effect is that you want them to dislike you and not use you rather than abuse you. They need to feel like they have power over you. Going grey rock removes this. It takes practice, growth, and inner strength to be able to pull this off. but it is a very important skill that you need to develop in every stage of recovery, whether you're in the devaluing or discard stage, or beyond that in the no contact stage, and even the hoovering stage. You need to be able to go gray rock so that they do not see you as supply. I had a real hold on going gray rock because I was raised by very, very much elderly people. If you know anything about me, my father was 73 when I was born. So I learned from him a lot, especially because he was the first Indian psychiatrist in South Africa. I learned a lot from him. So growing up, I always maintained my stance in my emotional well-being. And this, along with my experience with previous marriages and narcissists, it gave me a huge leg up on dealing with my last husband. And he would often exclaim and complain in frustration and strife. Why are you so stoic? Why are you so hard to get through to? What he means is hard to agitate, hard to upset. Why don't you cry? It was shocking that right in the beginning of our marriage, he would keep asking me, why don't you cry? You're so hard. I'm not hard-hearted. I'm not hard either. I just don't feel like you're worthy of my emotions. But he couldn't stand that. And of course, I didn't say that to his face. That would have caused him a probably narcissistic mortification. And a collapse. So I didn't say this, but this is definitely what I thought inside. And I wondered, why on earth is this man trying to get me to be upset? Why is he trying to make me feel any kind of way other than what I would normally feel? It's very perturbing that this man only wants to feel glee and happiness when I'm upset. Showing no emotion really agitates the narcissist, but you're not doing grey rock in order to agitate them. You're doing grey rock in order to let them pass you by and be disinterested in you so that you can save your sanity and not give them the drug that you normally administer, which is your emotional supply. Now, this grey rocking method can backfire. Depending on the narcissist and their individual temperament, they could fly into a narcissistic rage at worst and become violent with you, in which case you need to find somewhere safe to go and you need to get as far away from this person as possible. The other things that could ensue is that they could give you a tit for tat. Oh, so you're going for therapy now. Oh, so you're going to ignore me. Oh, so you're not talking to me, huh? Cat got your tongue. I'll show you. And they might take revenge by doing some damage to you or your things. So beware and try and foresee, based on his previous patterns or her previous patterns, what they are usually like when you don't give them what they want. Of course, they're going to be very agitated and frustrated, but how they express this will tell you what you need to do next. So please be aware and alert and keep yourself present in the moment to know what your next move should be, so that if you need to leave and move to safety or mitigate some of the damage that is going to occur, then you know what to do. What they will also do when they find out that their attempts at derailing you emotionally are not working, they will double down on their efforts. They will dig deeper, their claws into you. They will pick on things closer to your heart, cut closer to the bone, so that they can infuriate you, inflame you, and push you over the edge. There's nothing that brings a narc more satisfaction than to push you over the edge, watch you crumble, watch you fall, watch you tear up and become upset and cry and throw things and go into a flying mad rage yourself. So what you need to do in the initial stages of rage and the ones that come after that, in the aftermath, is you need to double down on your inner strength, and you have to see and read the situation for exactly what it is and know that that is exactly what he's trying to get from you. So don't give him what he wants, or she. It will get easier. Silently, under your breath, undetectably, make dhikr, ask Allah for help. Turn inwardly to your Lord and ask Him to give you the strength and the resolve to get through this, so that you don't lash out, so that you don't react and you don't give Him the response that He's waiting for. You're retraining yourself to not give Him what you normally give Him in terms of your reactions and what He perceives to be your patterns, so that He knows how you are predictable in the way you respond. You are also retraining Him not to use you for supply and not to expect an emotional rise out of you. This is, in a nutshell, what a grey rock really is. I hope that you succeed. I hope and I pray that all of my videos give you the strength, the fortitude, the confidence, and the self-esteem to pull this off and execute it in the best way possible according to your circumstances. But just remember, poker face, don't show emotion, body language, stop flapping and flailing, and your voice, cool, calm, collected. Speak from deep within your chest into your gut, not from the top of your throat when you're panicked and screaming and desperate. Okay, we don't want you to ever be in any desperate situation or circumstance ever again. And I pray that this will give you the strength to do that. Please try to watch this a few times and inculcate in yourself these habits so that it becomes part of your natural demeanor and it won't be as hard. And it is a muscle that you flex and strengthen in progress. So don't keep working at it. Don't stop working at it. And remember that it gets better and easier as you maintain your stance. So don't stop and don't give in. Lots of love. Assalamu alaikum and goodbye.